Well, welcome back to HorrorVision. This is episode 2, and we just looked at the Thomas Edison version of Frankenstein 1910. A classic in most people's eyes, including myself included. But today we're going to be looking at something that is a classic in a different way. Not because it focuses more on the gore or the violence or the creep factor that people would intentionally want in a Halloween type thing. No, we're actually going to be looking at an old TV special back during, well, the Peanuts era. That means we're going to be looking at It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown release date was actually on October 27th of 1966. 3 days, actually wait, let me count that here. Like about 4 to 5 days until Halloween. And looking at it today, you kind of would expect it to be dated, but in my opinion, it's probably the most non-outdated thing that you could see from, well, the 60s. I mean, think about it. The 60s were pretty much the time where, you know, you would see like cheap style animation and not really good shows, you know, and most of them were just trying to focus on the Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry aspect. But this one wanted to focus on something a bit different and did not really focus on the slapstick, even though you would clearly see a little bit of it. They wanted to focus on the comforting times of being a little child, especially on Halloween. And this show is no exception. I mean, like, what, the kids being dressed up in costumes and, you know, them having a nice time. It's about Linus writing a letter to a mysterious creature known as the Great Pumpkin. Unfortunately, nobody believes him. Patty doesn't believe him, neither does his sister Lucy. And Sally, I think, is on the receiving end of that. But the Great Pumpkin, or should I say Linus, believes in it. So he wants Lucy to believe in it as well. So Lucy goes ahead and, you know, goes with him to see if the Great Pumpkin was there, as the others go on Halloween. Unfortunately, it becomes a big misfit because Snoopy was basically in the pumpkin patch, not the Great Pumpkin. And you'd expect Michael Myers to be there. And, I mean, I saw that coming, because even as a kid, you shouldn't be believing in superstitious stuff. See, the Great Pumpkin is kind of like, well, any other type of superstitious person that you would believe in. Like the Boogeyman and other monsters like Dracula and Frankenstein. They don't exist, but they exist in stuff like movies, TV, commercials, advertisements, and even the famous books that were made by both Bram Stoker and Mary Shelley. So there is pretty much a case that the Great Pumpkin does not exist. And I don't even know why you would expect a little kid to actually believe it, but it's a little kid's show, so why am I criticizing it? You know? Why am I criticizing a show that has something to do with somebody believing in something? Well, this was before my time, so this was probably like before my time, so, and this was like after, you know, the 60s were gone, but it was still a really good thing here. But there was one scene that went really, like it just went a little bit over the edge.
You owe me restitution!
Holy shit! What did she do? Take strangling lessons from The Rock? That's crazy! I've never seen a strangling part of my life like that. I mean, you shouldn't count The Undertaker's choke slam, neither does Kane's. Those don't count. But, man, she literally just almost strangled her, like just pulling the shirt up. Literally. That is just insane. I guess you just don't want to make someone like her mad. Well, bravo. Thumbs up. Snoopy and the gang, along with, you know, Linus and Lucy just finding a pumpkin, are just nice touches in my opinion. And it makes it not a great pumpkin, but in my opinion, and onto everybody else's opinion, a really great classic. But hey, I'm done with it already, and I do consider it a classic. But it's time to look at some actual horror stuff from the silent era. So, which one am I going to look at now? Fuck me.